Hello, Calista. How you doing? All right, let's go and take a look. Here's my assignment. I found it's a little daunting at first, but I took one step at a time, picking more natural. I hope to get some good feedback. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. So I'm going to open this up, and the first thing I want you to notice is the orientation. Okay, see how it's oriented this way? One really good tip is anytime that you're preparing an assignment for presentation, you want to make it as easy as possible for the person that's looking at it. So in this particular case, I would definitely orient this correctly. Also, when you photograph your work, if you're not using a scanner and you're using your camera, that's great, no problem there. But try to put it on a neutral background so that we don't have all this background competing with the natural tendency to want to look at the work itself. So maybe like on a piece of wood, or even a wood floor, or a white poster board or something like that. Just place the piece on that and then photograph that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and rotate this so we can see it. Now, first thing we notice is that the letter forms aren't really as true to the Franklin Gothic typeface that we're basing this assignment on. So basically what you want to do is you want to download the Franklin Gothic typeface examples from the course resources area. And this is what that looks like when you download it. There's only three letters, a B and an A and an N. And those are the only three letters you need to compose the word banana. But if we take a look at this, and I'm just going to reduce this a little bit so we can look at both. But let's take a look at the shape of the B and the shape of your B, and we can clearly see that really, I don't think it's been traced, Kalisa. I think this may have been done freehand. So we're not really seeing accurate depictions of these letter forms. As we can see, this one is much, much taller and more narrow than this. And you really want to pay attention to the shapes of the closed counters and the open and closed bowls. Okay, so this area here, if you take a look at this area right here, this open area, and compare it to this one, we can see that they're really not very similar at all. So my recommendation is that you go ahead and really work on tracing those letters out. A really good idea is to just place one letter, okay? What you can do is you can just kind of, first you want to establish your baseline. Right now it looks like this baseline is not level, okay? This is definitely lower than this. As a matter of fact, let's use this right here as a straight edge, and we can see there we place this on the baseline, the last lowercase a, and we can see a lot of the other letters don't even reach that baseline. Conversely, we come over here and we place this on the lowercase n, the straight edge right here, and we can see that a lot of your letter forms exceed that mean line right there. So the first thing and most important thing to do is establish your baseline. Once you place one letter, trace it out on a baseline, you can come up here and establish that mean line. Okay, then what you want to do is go ahead and place the B so you can establish your cap line. Once those guidelines are placed, it's just a simple matter of tracing. Now we want to talk about letter spacing. Now we have right here, this assignment is asking for what is normal letter spacing. And I take a look at this and I think this is really super condensed. I think the space between letters, this is even touching. And you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. I mean, you can get close, but you don't want them to touch. In most cases, you would want a little bit of breathing room in there in between your letters. Now, listen, this is a general rule of thumb for setting sans serif sans serif letters and kerning expeditiously. You want the greatest space to be between two curved. You want the most narrow space to be between two curved letter forms, followed by the next most narrow space would be between a straight and a curve, and then the widest space between two straight letter forms. Okay, so they shouldn't really be noticeable, but the word should be readable without any gaps between letters. So you're not getting exact spacing between letters. You're going to adjust those a little bit based on the shapes of the letters so that the letters appear to have the same volume between them. Okay, and as you can see, the different shapes of the letters would require different spaces between in order to establish that illusion of the exact same volume between letters. Okay, so in summary, what I'd like you to do is really spend time tracing these. Okay, you might have to get a thinner paper. Typically, what I do when I'm tracing is I just take a lamp and I put it under a glass table in my house, and I'll just trace right over it. It works great. Another good idea is to place the piece on a window that has, if you have a sunny day, that's a little tougher as you're holding it up. But the idea is to trace these letters out as accurately as you possibly can. And and then working and establishing good letter spacing throughout. Okay, so for your final submission on Sunday, we'll definitely be looking for accuracy, very accurate depictions of the letter forms, as well as expeditious letter spacing, based on those simple rules that I just gave you. Okay, all right, Calista, thank you so much. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you.